Learning Old Saxon from the Heliand, lines 3258 to 3259. Let's get right to it. So here's our sentence here, and without further ado, Huat skal ik manaiges duan, an theothe ik heavenrike yahalan muti. And so we'll start with the first clause, right? So let's get right to it. Huat skal ik manaiges duan. So, what does this mean? Well, we'll start with the first word, and that is our huat, which means what. But in the case of this sentence, because later on we have a genitive there, manaiges is in the genitive. So with huat, this would be translated as what kind. I'm interpreting this partially through the lens of Old English, because Old English has this too, where you have the word in Old English when you have huat, and then we have a genitive that would indicate meaning of what kind or what type, or what have you. So that's the lens I'm going with here. Next, we have skal, which is in the first person singular present indicative, and this is from the verb skulan, which means must in the context of an obligation. So that's something to bear in mind. Moving on, we have ik, which is simply a first person singular personal pronoun. It's simply just I. So this is the subject of the sentence. Next, we have manaiges. It is an adjective that is singular, genitive, and it's masculine and neuter. You could translate this as of many a thing, or of much, depending on the context. I would go with this to mean of many a thing, to make it more palpable for a present English speaking audience. We have here duan, which is an infinitive, and it just simply means to do. Now, all this together with our clause here, what kind of many a thing must I do? A bit old-timesy translation, but it makes sense. Well, at least it makes sense to me, and I hope it makes sense to you, because there are different ways of going about this. Moving on to the next clause. An theothe ik heavenrike yahalan multi. So, what does this mean? So we'll start off with an. An is a preposition that simply means in. And we've got theo, which is a definite article, instrumental, singular, neuter, and it simply just means that. And then we got the, which is a relative particle, which means which in this context. And then we have ik again, so it's the subject of the sentence. It's a nominative, a first person singular. And then we have heavenrike, which is which is neuter. It's in the accusative singular, so it's the object of the sentence. So it's the object of the sentence, and we have our verb here, which is our main verb here, yahalan, which means to fetch, to acquire, to attain. And then we have a sort of an auxiliary verb here, multi, which is translated as may, right? So with all this together is in that which I may attain the kingdom of heaven. So it's a question. This whole sentence is a question. And heavenrike could be translated as literally as heaven kingdom or kingdom of heaven. So in a nice present English translation, I would go with kingdom of heaven. So moving right on. So altogether we have, what kind of many a thing must I do in that which I may attain the kingdom of heaven? So that is our translation. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and be sure to subscribe if you are new, and if you really like the channel, please become a patron at my Patreon page down below. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.